Richmond, north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control.
Yeah, give me freedom or give me death.
I'm going to stop it right there.
Holding in the way, that's what I heard them say. They used to heed the words he said, but that was yesterday. Gold will turn to gray and youth will fade away. They'll never care about you, call you holding in the way.
Good morning, and welcome to another episode of Old Men in Chairs. Last night, about 10 o'clock, Chris Webby dropped a remix of the very popular song Richmond, north of Richmond. I was too tired to do anything about it last night, but I'm at it up bright and early this morning. Of course, I'm a huge Chris Webby fan, and we just did a reaction to his Raw Thoughts 6 4 days ago. I've always been disappointed that Webby doesn't get more views that he richly deserves with the talent that he has and with his great attitude on current events. So perhaps by hitching his wagon to Mr. Anthony, he will do a little better and bring more attention to some of his other work. If you don't know Chris Webby, I would recommend you start with Raw Thoughts 5 and then move up to Raw Thoughts 6. I predict that he will quickly outpace Raw Thoughts with this one here. Now, I've been asked if I would do a reaction to the North of Richmond song, and I didn't want to do it for one main reason. That song has been labeled the anthem of the middle class, and to be quite honest, I'm not middle class. I can't pretend to be middle class. The opening line of his song talks about working all day and doing overtime for bullshit pay, and I can't say that I've ever been in that position. I've had the resources to be basically an entrepreneur, tried a bunch of businesses in my life, still operate a bunch of businesses. It's not been easy along the way. I'm not super rich or uber rich, but I've been able to put food on the table and enjoy a pretty good lifestyle. So for me to oh yeah, I relate to what you're saying, Oliver, I couldn't do that in good faith. And I don't want to just hitch my reaction channel to a popular song just so I can get the views. I've decided, in some cases, if I don't believe a song fits my philosophy, even a Tom MacDonald song I haven't reacted to, even though sure I could get more views by doing it, but if I don't believe in the song or if the song doesn't click for me, I'm not going to do it.
It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is. Living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control.
Yeah, give me freedom or give me death.
I'm going to stop it right there. Chris, stop smoking the cigarettes, first of all. Secondly, I don't know how many young people today have been taught that paraphrase of the real sentence, give me liberty or give me death, was a famous quote from Patrick Henry, who became the first independent governor of Virginia. He was addressing a group of the leaders of Virginia, urging them to take up arms against the British and join the revolution. And his speech was credited with carrying the day and causing the convention to adopt his position and enter into the Revolutionary War. So a very, very critical speech in American history. And as our friend Vivek has just said, we are in a 1776 moment right now. We are in a revolutionary moment. And I think the success of Oliver Anthony's song has made it clear that there's a huge well of discontent with the state of the country, the state of the economy in particular, and the state of the government sending all our money out of this country to other places in the world and not taking care of our own, including the people that were so badly injured and killed in Hawaii just recently. That's a very important statement. Give me liberty or give me death, or as Chris says, give me freedom or give me death. That's a statement of a patriot who says we've had enough and the time to put our lives on the line is here.
Just wanna have total control.
Yeah, give me freedom or give me death. To that we pledge allegiances. We the people had enough. It's time we aired our grievances against these treasonous demons. So raise the alarm, cause the pigs are fully taken over on this animal farm. Don't know anymore. This world's gotten too cold to ignore. Shit, is it 2023 or 1984? Thought police up at my door to open fire on me, but I'd rather die on my feet than survive on my knees.
That was a triple. Everyone probably recognizes the 1984 reference, but I'm not sure how many people realize that Animal Farm was another book by George Orwell, which was a parody of socialism and politics, in which the farm animals are taken over by the pigs. And then also he said the thought police are at his door. Well, the thought police again goes back to George Orwell. So we have 3 Orwell references there in a very short period of time. I was assigned to read Animal Farm early on in grade school, maybe, or certainly by high school. I just don't think that's on the agenda much anymore, especially with our woke school systems. Too bad. It's a great book.
Open fire on me, but I'd rather die on my feet than survive on my knees. And please, we know how they looking at us from up at the top. The tougher they made it for us, the fucking tougher we got. They thought they'd keep us scared forever, but fuck it, we not. We'll send them back to north of Richmond in some cuffs or a box.
That line's going to resonate with a lot of people. Send them back up to north of Richmond, which I think in this case mainly refers to Washington, D.C., although, of course, New York City is north of Richmond, and New York City is where a lot of the money people congregate and make the big decisions. But send them back with either in cuffs or a box. In other words, it's time to get serious, folks. And if you think this is strong language, check out his recent Raw Salt 6. The same message, actually, that he has in there, only in much, much more detail. That's a 9-minute song.
What the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is. Living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men know for Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control.
Behind the politicians, there's a far more sinister villain that's power-driven. Only answer to money is their religion. They controlling the way that we live in, keeping us mentally stuck in a prison, so that the fire they know is rebellion never can spread whenever it's risen. But
They keep us stuck in a mental prison so that rebellion cannot spread. I think that's pretty accurate. That's mental prison is mainly supported by television and other mainstream media that create a fantasy world that doesn't really exist, but is designed to keep you imprisoned and keep you divided one against the other. One of the beautiful things about Oliver's song is it is being accepted across all groups in society. I've watched a lot of the reactions, and the black folks are just as strongly reacting as some of the white folks to what he's saying, because he's talking about the truth, how tough it is. Like I say, I don't have a problem putting food on the table at this point in my life. But when I go to the grocery store and I look at the prices, I'm like, how can people afford to eat? I don't get it. And I guess the fact is a lot of people can't afford to eat. It's not a healthy situation.
us mentally stuck in a prison, so that the fire they know is rebellion never can spread whenever it's risen. But they've been seeing us waking up, and now they fucking afraid, as we the people get to seeing through their fucking charade. We're being played by these elites who would rather see us enslaved, as they lead us by the hand where the land's dug with a grave. And they could kill our character through stories they publish, or they'll just murder us and brand it as suicide to the public, or an accidental overdose. Print the story, run it, say it's fact, so people trust it, accept it, and move on from it. But it's time to pick a side and get to striking a nerve. In any way we're able, I'm fighting this fight with my words. And if they keep pushing, then fuck it, we inciting the purge. And just to think, all we wanted was the rights we deserve.
Chris lays it out like it is. If you go up against them, you might find yourself in one of those graves that they dug for you, or if not actually physically killed, they'll cancel you and tell stories about you and put them in the press, and everyone will believe them, and your effectiveness as a leader will be destroyed. Chris is talking about, bringing back the purge. I don't think we want to go there. We want to get this thing straightened out before it can go there.
Just to think, all we wanted was the rights we deserve.
It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. All it is, living in the world with an whole soul. These rich men know for Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do. Your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end, 'cause the rich men, 'cause the rich men.
And I believe that video was shot at Chris's Connecticut home. He has a home in the woods up there, and it was funny, he had pictures of his dog, which of course Oliver's video famously had pictures of his dogs as well. A really nice remix, and I predict this won't be the last remix. This may be a song that gets remixed by a number of people. Oliver's song was up to 36 million views as of last night, in like a week maybe since it went viral. Chris's Raw Thoughts only had 250,000 views, but I predict that this remix will do better than that in the next few days, and that it will also help build traffic to his fine work. Check him out. Chris is the real deal.
Holding in the way.